You know that we're having problems with our roof. We need to have it fixed. I just found out 2 weeks ago, we're still $6,000 in the hole in order to get that done by the end of this summer. I'm bleeding. Is there anything council can do for us to help us out in any way? We've gone to all the local businesses. High-grade insulators are going to help us with expertise to put the new roof on. Lowe's, Home Depot all gave us a quote for building supplies. Even St. Luke's is pitching in. We've done everything that we can on our part, and we're still $6,000 short. I'm sorry, I failed to mention the Phillipsburg Police Department and the Benevolent Association that they are associated with are volunteering their labor to help.
The $6,000, Mr. Dickey, what is that for specifically? Do you have like a line item breakdown? Or?
I don't have it with me, but I can get you that information. I believe the $6,000 is for insurance purposes as well as some additional materials that are unforeseen costs at this time.
Does anyone on the panel have anything can address this? Or I personally would like to see us be able to help out the veterans. I just don't know what we have at our disposal right now. I certainly will help you walk door to door or go to businesses.
Well, we've been down to the train ride as many times as we can with what little personnel we have to do can shakes. We're doing pretty good there, but we can't be there every weekend. We can't go to the well too many times. It won't pay.
How bad is the roof currently? Is it leaking inside the building?
Currently, yes, we have six guaranteed leaks. Council member Lutz could verify that he has seen the buckets firsthand when he's stopped by. Vice Council President DiGeronimo has been there. She's seen the buckets and asked what they were for. We have at least 6 guaranteed holes that we need to address.
I went down to Hydro, and they gave us a price, and I went down to him again and asked if he could help us out in any way, and he brought the price dramatically down.
Yes, they did.
And then I went to Ward Hospital
Yes, sir.
and went to Atlantic States, but at that time the money was all given out for the allotment for the year. I've been trying hard to get money for him too myself, and it's just in limbo right now. We don't know what to do now.
Speak pop, Johnny. That's
Yep.
your-
Yep. So,
Mr. Dickey, if you could give us a week to
I
try
can give you
and
2 weeks.
just to put our heads together.
I can give you 2 weeks. I'm going on vacation on the 14th, on the 18th, so I won't be back.
I know I have a call out to Eleanor about the bid. I spoke with Mr. Garrison, so
Yes.
it's still, I'd like to, if I could, I could team up with Councilman Lutz, or I mean, how 5 of us could team up, 6 of us could do the best that we can to try and get that roof on there for you and the veterans.
We would really appreciate it.
We will do our absolute best.
I
I can't
guess-
talk to make promises. No, I'm sorry, Councilman.
I asked one suggestion, is you put it on the internet, because there's a lot of veterans out there on the internet. That could help us, but I haven't seen it on there yet, so.
I haven't gotten permission to do that yet. I have to go to the 2 other officers. and
Well,
see
that'd
if
be the
it's-
best. Or
See if it's okay if I could put it out there somewhere.
Sure.
And my other option, like, is also going on to our Legion.org, the organization website. I just found out that there's a place that I can put it on there, but I just found that today, so I haven't had a chance to speak
Okay.
with the other 2 officers.
Just two avenues you can go, because if you put it on the regular internet, everybody reads the regular internet. And there's a lot of veterans out there that would probably send $20, $25, and it will add up very fast for you.
That's what we're trying to hope for. I do have another benefit concert that's going to take place in August, towards the end of August, the middle of August. I have friends that have volunteered their time to come play to build it. So that should help us bring in some more funds as well.
Okay.
But like I said, at present, with the money that we have in the bank and the money that we've been promised, we're still, by our calculations, $6,000 short.
President Fulton?
Yes, sir.
Have you contacted the service organizations like Exchange Club, the Rotary?
Yes, we have. We've tried everything so far.
Did you contact the Rotary?
I believe they have.
And how about Bill
I didn't see the
Nixon?
application.
Excuse me, ma'am?
How about Bill Nixon?
No,
He's very,
that's a sensitive matter that I cannot speak about publicly. We'll leave it at that.
okay.
You should be sitting up here. Well,
I appreciate it, I appreciate it.
No, we will do everything that we possibly can. Like I said, it's hard for us to make promises, but it's nice to, Councilman Lewis, it's nice to hear that you're out
Yeah,
there
he's, for
feeding
the
pavement.
past 2 years, he's been, Councilman Lutz has been there with us. He knows what we're going through, he's been helping us every step of the way.
That's good to hear. Okay, we will do, if we can, you say you're leaving in 2 weeks?
Yes,
Okay. We'll try and get a hold of you within the next week, so let you know where we
you
stand.
have my number?
Yes, sir, I believe I do.
And Mrs. Deidre has my number. I'm sure Frank has it as well, so.
You can call the council vice president. Nah, I'm just
No,
kidding.
last time I did that, I got in trouble.
No, stop. All right, we're gonna move forward. All right, we're still on public petition, so. Yeah, that was only Don.
I'm Joe Minor, and I live at 392 South Main Street in Phillipsburg. And I cut back to, I'm hoping that the Ad Hoc Committee might get this out shortly. I would like to say that Mr. McVeigh can initiate a complaint independent of the Ad Hoc Committee as a private citizen. The prosecutor, if Mr. McVeigh's information warrants, can investigate with relative independence and privacy. On the matter of whether the Ad Hoc Committee has a right to meet in executive session, the chairman of the Ad Hoc Committee has purposefully excluded Councilman Davis. It is not a committee of the whole, and it has one council member blocked. Therefore, exceptions to sunshine should not apply. You should not be allowed to have a private meeting because of that. I'm starting the whole thing over to you, but I underlined this stuff that's part of the private record.
Chairman, would you like to respond?
Would Mr. Winter like to respond?
He can't, sir, it's a conflict.
I'm having to do the honors.
Oh.
Mr. Meyer, thank you for your comments.
I'm not asking for a response.
I allowed him to respond.
If that's all right with you.
Okay, that's all right with me. Go ahead.
Okay, very good. We're meeting Wednesday at 7. Love to see you here.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be there.
Thank you, sir.
I have hope. I think I've heard good news.
Okay, with that being said, just so you're aware, I did research and the ad hoc committee is not a standing committee, right?
Right.
Correct. So they can meet in the executive session. They are not subject to OPMA, and I will get you the.
Even with the exception?
Yes, I will get you the literature.
Please do.
I absolutely will. Before you leave, if I may have your email address, and I will make sure that you have it. Okay, as a matter of fact, I'll make sure you have it before the end of the evening. The last thing.
Wonderful.
Okay.
I can't open a lot of stuff.
Well, I'm not going to send you the virus.
No.
Just send it to me, I'll print it. for you.
There you go. Okay, I'll send it to you.
I'll print it for you.
Anyone else?
Dan Boyce, 244 Irwin.
Thank you.
I noticed today, as I look around, last week, or at the last meeting, you voted to continue dealing with the express times.
Yes.
After how many meeting after meeting after meeting, all the cheerleaders coming up here saying, please stay with them, stay with them, stay with them. you decide to stay with them, look, they're not here to report on anything.
If it's okay, I'd like to let you know that I was contacted by the Express Times earlier because they're running a story about us being sued. So because they are running that story, he had contacted me and did tell me that they would not be here this evening because they had a prior engagement, and because it's Monday, if it had the council meeting had it been tomorrow, they would have been here. But just in all fairness, I do think that the decision to stay with the Express Times, that we made the right decision, and they did reach out to us.
All right, if you remember, I was one that said, I
Yes,
thought
sir.
you should stay with them as well, but
I do.
I do feel they need to be here to report for the people that can attend.
Sure. Nope, unfortunately for them, because they missed out on all this greatness, right? Unfortunately for them, they had a different engagement.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Mr. Rooney, please.
Say one thing in. Hey,
Yes, sir.
maybe two. Bernie Rooney, 245 Water Street, Phillipsburg. I mentioned earlier about the redevelopment plan. I want to compliment, first of all, I want to compliment the council on the meeting tonight. I haven't been to the meeting over maybe 6 months or so. Last time I was here, I kind of complained and took you all to task for the way you carried on the meeting. It was a disgrace. At least tonight, it was done at great taste. I didn't agree with everything you did. I think you stood that I should have beer down at the festival. That's okay, but it's nice to see you working together. It really is. There are issues. You all know you're talking about the ad hoc committee. I think that's what's here. It's one of the issues. I'm not sure, but it is nice seeing you working together. Now, I'd like to see you continue to do that, but, keep the parties out of it. Put the town first. Keep the town first. There's so much going on in town right now that needs to be taken and considered. There's a redevelopment plan. There's a trail committee. There's a lot of other projects. There's the personal mill area. There's a lot of interest in that. And there's a lot of things you could be focused on. And remember what your purpose is. You're here to help the people of Phillipsburg. And keep concentrating on your main purpose. That's all I ask.
Mr. Rooney, thank you very much for your comment. Hey,
Hey,
how are you?
I'm good yourself.
So far, so good.
Lee Clark, 341 Hepton Street. Just a friendly reminder, tomorrow is Tuesday, June 5th, primary election day, so just remember to go out and vote. Voting is very important, so, and I know a lot of people don't know what's happening tomorrow, so just get out and vote tomorrow. That's all.
I like that message too. Thanks, Mr. Carter. Is there anyone else? No, man. Meeting adjourned. Nah, just kidding. How are you, Nicole?
How are you?
Doing well, thank you.
Nicole Timmerman, 112 North Riverview Road. Normally, I get up here and I speak on behalf of the youth organizations in our town. Tonight, I'm going to get up here and speak about something else that is near and dear to my heart, and that's our veterans. I'm going to piggyback on Mr. Dickey here. I just want to take a minute and talk to the town about a gentleman who lives in this town named Edward Bundro. He is a World War II veteran and a Purple Heart recipient. He's a 92-year-old World War veteran who is in desperate need of a roof replacement. Born in 1925 in Stockertown, Pennsylvania, and raised in Phillipsburg, New Jersey, Edward overcame many obstacles in his life. At the young age of 16, as many young men did, he lied about his age and joined the Navy so that he could have the opportunity to see the world. And he did just that. His unit was deployed shortly after the attack on Pearl Harbor, and not knowing where they were going or if they would even return home, these young men sacrificed it all to serve and defend their country. His granddaughter has recalled many stories over the last few days to me that he has told her about his time serving his country. One that stuck out in particular in my mind was of a tattoo that he had on his arm. He told her that the tattoo was so that the Navy could identify him if he didn't return home. He is also a Purple Heart recipient who is honored to receive his award on Lake Champlain in front of 3,200 men. He purchased his home in 1950, and along with his wife, they raised 5 children in their home. Sadly, his wife passed away 7 years ago, just as they were to celebrate their 62nd wedding anniversary. She had survived a heart attack only to succumb to colon cancer that had spread throughout her body without detection. He is a family-oriented man who has taken on the responsibilities of his granddaughter and her children during periods of their life. His granddaughter repays him with the only way she can, by taking care of him, bringing his meals, cleaning his home, and checking in on him daily. Mr. Wondrell has selflessly served his country during a time of war, and I believe that as a community, we owe it to our veterans to make sure the favor is returned. I have reached out to a local contractor to possibly have the materials donated to repair this failing roof. However, I cannot cover the cost of the labor. I'm still working on that with volunteers and insurance things that are going on, legalities. We are asking the town officials to please help us speed up the process of bureaucratic red tape and help Mr. Bunger stay safely in his home, the home in which he has lived his life, raised his children, and spent a lifetime making memories with his wife up until she took her very last breath. And if you guys are interested, I have pictures of his roof.
One question.
Sure.
Mr. Bunder's family did come into town hall to ask about the roof. And at that time, while they were there, we facilitated the roof replacement through the county. Do you know what happened to that? Did something go wrong?
There was a lot of red tape with that, and it's not working out with the guy from Warren County.
Oh, well, see, we didn't know that, but if you come back in, then we'll try to get back onto the town's loan program or rehabilitation program. I wasn't aware of that.
Well, if you would like to, I can give you all of my information at the end of the
Sure.
meeting. I've kind of taken this on as my own. It's something near and dear to my heart. I've worked with a couple other people in the community with doing things with our veterans. I'm willing to pound the pavement for this family and raise money dollar by dollar, house by house. And he's my first priority, but anything I have left over, I'd be more than happy to give over to Mr. Dickey for his building also.
Right. Well, there is rehabilitation money, but it became cumbersome because there's no one to drive the bus in the county now. So we deferred to the county, and when we left it, I thought they were taking care of you, obviously not. So we will jump back into the...
Well, I do have a contractor that I am working with who has worked with many programs. He also he's worked with Habitat for Humanity and other things like that. Insurance purposes, I can't have volunteers and his men on the roof at the same time, but I am working with his distributor to get the materials at least donated to get this roof put on for him.
Just send me a message and we'll get you in the office with the Bunker
Absolutely.
family, and we'll see if we can kickstart this rehabilitation. I mean, it's sitting there, it's just there's nothing to do with it anymore.
Absolutely, I'd be more than happy to work with you
That's
on
why
it.
we went to the county. Thank you.
All right,
That's
thanks.
awesome. Nicole, that's phenomenal. Yeah, there's not a lot of feel-good stories like that, huh? Wow. Okay, is there anyone else? Okay. There being none, we will move forward to council open time, and I will start with Councilman Lewis.
I have nothing, thank you.
Council Vice President?
Yeah, okay, thanks. One, I just want to thank Dunkin' Donuts for having us for their, what do we call it, a re-grand opening. It was a very nice day. They were busy, it was nice to see busy. They had all their corporate and regional people in. 4 of us were there, it was a very nice event. If you haven't seen the inside, I know I'm a drive-through person, but it is much brighter, it's much more welcoming, it's a much more modern. Also, this weekend, it wasn't very well advertised, but Hope Day happened up at Walters Park. I don't know if anybody had the opportunity to go to that. I was surprised to hear they had almost 1,000 people last year. This year was 750 people. It's run by all the local churches. It's a national program. So for those that need food, they need clothing, it's all free. There's no questions. They have haircuts, all kinds of services for people. So that was all at Walters Park. It was all free. The amount of volunteers, if I could figure out that science, I would be on it in a heartbeat because the amount of volunteers there was amazing. So I want to thank the mayor. We had a resident call in with 3 property issues on Front Street. And I contacted him as well about one on John Mitchell. All have been successfully cleaned up. They were all high grass. So I encourage everyone, please contact the mayor's office when you do see something. I contacted him, within a week, everything was cleaned up. It was very well taken care of. I just encourage you to please go through the right channel, send an email, make a phone call, leave a message. If not, reach out to one of us, we will forward it along. But it does, I assure you, get addressed.
Does the town have somebody checking on the properties and citing people?
Yes, we do.
We do, we have a code inspector that goes out.
I see more and more problems.
There's no doubt.
I know for a while they were on top of it. I've never seen it.
They're outgrowing us.
One next to me, I think there's bears in there. I don't know. That's been cut all year.
Really? What address is it, Mr. Rudy? What address?
245, I'm probably
9,
to,
247?
nah, it's probably 250.
9 Randall Street, up to your elbows, not your armpit. It's been stickered, still hasn't been cut.
Cemetery on Gilmore Street.
Unfortunately, I have some information for you regarding the cemetery on
I
Phillipsburg.
don't think I can see it cut.
I would give you the information, though, Mr. Field. You don't want
I want to see it cut.
to? All right. You tried.
Just a couple other. We had the meeting, I know some questions came up about the Section 8, or aside from Section 8, I decided to do a little research on the program because I was interested about the RAD program, and to be honest, I just don't know much about it, so I did my own research. Some of the statistics I saw were great. We have such a need, and some of them I just want to take a couple minutes to share. Talking about Hope 6, which is, I know, one of the programs we talked about, which was unsuccessful locally. However, nationally, it wasn't quite the distress program it became locally. This RAD program, from what I read, from the Obama administration, and it carried through to Ben Carson, who's now in charge of the RAD program. So something's good when they're both thinking along the same wavelength in my eyes. To go from the Obama administration to Ben Carson, both supporting the same program, and not only supporting it, but kicking it up a notch. I think that speaks a few volumes. The things that spoke the most to me: number one, this program, the RAD program, was implemented in Philadelphia. When it was implemented, crime decreased by 64% in the neighborhoods where they implemented it. 64% in Philadelphia is very, very significant. 2, job training and literacy increased 20% in every school where it was the neighborhood schools. A 20% increase in literacy leads to a lot of things. Number one, that people are getting better jobs, which I take 5%, I take 10%, 20, I find very, very impressive. Literacy is another thing that is going to help break that cycle of poverty, which is where we need to get, improving that quality of life and moving towards improving and getting people out of poverty and assistance, I think is really where we want to go. Following that, nationally, 2.2 million people are in public housing on Section 8. Nationally, there's 10,000 units that are lost due to disrepair, and the public is responsible for that upkeep at this point in time. So this RAD program that they're looking into is one of the reasons that they're trying to get this off of the taxpayers' burden locally by implementing this program. So while it's federal, it does filter into your community. The state of New Jersey has 565 municipalities. New Jersey has 157,000 Section 8 housing vouchers. 7% of all those Section 8 vouchers are in Phillipsburg.
And they keep coming.
That's just Phillipsburg. That's not the state, that's not the county. So when I hear this will not increase Section 8, I'm very, very happy. That's all I had on that. And I'm done.
That was good.
You know I like to research.
No,
I'm a
that
numbers
was-
junkie, and
I'm
improved literacy and lower crime makes me happy.
I'm impressed.
And don't forget about the police.
No, I won't. We actually, we'll bring that up. So, Councilman Davis?
Yeah, the only thing I'd report is, as the council president expressed previously, we're interested in rent control ordinance. I've been doing some research after discussing with him. Looking forward to scheduling a meeting with him later this week. My research has shown that there's a lot of effective tools that a rent control board could bring to the table here in Phillipsburg, especially piggybacking off of Council Vice President Deidre Allen's comments with the prevalence of renters in Phillipsburg. We need to offer more tools to our tenants in town to make sure that they're properly protected. And I think that working together with the Council President, we're going to be able to bring forth a great solution to make sure that we're advocating for tenants in Phillipsburg. So that's it.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you, Councilman. Councilman McVeigh?
I'm good, sir.
Yes, you are. Okay, I only have one thing, and it's actually directed to the mayor. I wanted to take a moment to, somebody had screenshot someone, screenshot something and sent it to me, and I wanted to dispel any rumors. I wanted to take a moment to apologize to the mayor for the misconception that seems to be running rampant and become very, very popular on social media as of late with regard to what they're claiming was his personal refusal to hand over the previous superintendent of recreation's resume and application back in January and February of last year. As many of you are aware, the mayor and I have begun working toward bettering our relationship with regard to our vision of a more unified and more prosperous Phillipsburg. And I would be remiss if I didn't take the opportunity to publicly state on record that, so as to clear up this misconception that he had, what was it, a week ago or 2 weeks ago we had met?
Yeah.
And he had disclosed to me that he, in fact, did not withhold those documents, and especially he did not withhold the documents out of spite from council, but rather he was requested to do so by the former superintendent of recreation, and I believe that he, being her supervisor, had obliged. And I think that was, you know, we respect each other's position. I respect his, he respects mine. So I'm hopeful that when they see this out there, they realize that this was not, if you see it on social media, dispel the rumor. He didn't withhold it. So I'm hopeful that that'll see some of the crazy rhetoric and continuously that's being spread around, and we can move forward. So that's all I have to say, Mayor. You're welcome. Yeah, we have, well, we still have to go into executive session, yeah, too.
Council President, if I may.
You. Sure.
The resolution for the pool, was it an omission, or did you decide not to go?
No, to be honest with you, I totally forgot all about it, and Council Vice President completely reminded me, so we're gonna go ahead.
3 times,
Yeah, she did
Oh,
say it 3
thank you.
times. The wife volume on, do not play that on for her. So if it's okay, can we approve the raffle licenses first, and then we can, if it's okay with council, we'll be able to approve the pool repairs? I know you guys want to get home to bed, we still have a couple minutes to go. So motions approval for raffle license number RL 1270 and RL 1271 issued to the Garnet Boosterettes for 50/50 premises raffle to be conducted on, and do you want me to read all the dates? 8/31/2018, 9/7/2018, 9/21/2018, 10/12/2018, 11/12/2018, 11/9/2018, 11/16/2018, between
It was 11/2.
11/2/2018, between the hours of 5:30 and 7:30 p.m.
So move.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Councilman Woods?
Yes.
Councilman Davis?
Yes.
Council Vice President Deidre
Yes.
Councilman McVeigh?
Yes.
Council President Holmes?
Yes. Before we go into executive session for the,
Second motion.
we have another one. Approval for raffle license number RL 1272 issued to the Garnet Boosterettes for an off-premise raffle November 21st, 2018.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Woods?
Yes.
Councilman Davis?
Yes.
Council Vice President DeGrova?
Yes.
Councilman McVeigh?
Yes.
Council President Holmes?
Yes. So now we have an emergency resolution for the pool. It appears that Boyer Pools, the company that we contracted in the middle of their pressure washing, had uncovered damage to the Walters Park pool. They need another $8,800 in order to repair it. Was that the correct estimate, Bob, you're here? Was that the correct estimate, $8,800? Without us approving, the pool will not be able to open on time, therefore the kids will sweat for a little bit longer, and I'm not sure how long. So to bring it before council, I'd like to know if you'd like to approve the $8,800. It's an emergency resolution, so.
I'm amenable. Yeah.
Yeah. Council Vice President,
Do you want all the details?
do you want to give me all the details?
Only whether you need them. I felt I needed them.
Well, then I would like to, no, you absolutely are. Right.
Just so we know what's happening, I was concerned on what we received because it stated the work is not guaranteed. So right away when I see $8,800 and the work is not guaranteed, then I'll get a little uncomfortable about that. So what he explained to me, so this was actually the gentleman who worked on the pool in the 80s. So this work hasn't been extensively done on our pool since the 1980, I believe he said it was 1982. So Brent Boyer has actually been working on the Walters Park pool since the 80s. It actually still has the original shell in it from the 1950s. So our pool is very, very old. As he explained to me, the work he's doing is, just so everyone's aware, this is a Band-Aid. This is not fixing the pool by any means. He said it's like painting over rotten wood, basically at this point is what we're doing. But it will get the pool functional. It'll get the pool through the season. You're going to have the same trouble again next year. Hands down, he said, you have less than 3 years left on the pool that you have. Hands down, we need to consider a new pool. He said, just thinking about concrete and pool, he said, the biggest problem here has been maintenance. And right away, bells went up in my head. All I thought of was mold in Corliss Avenue. He said the biggest problem was it wasn't properly maintained as it needed to be. It wasn't properly drained. It wasn't, or water wasn't left in it when it should have been. He said there were just a lot of things that happened over the course of a lot of years. That's the reason it's in the condition it is now. What basically happened, for the public's information, they power washed and concrete just started crumbling everywhere. So at this point, they can't even put water in the pool. That's what's going on. So as if that's not enough, he said, a pool of this nature, it's very low, but he said you're probably over $3 million on a new pool. Just so everybody's minds are open to thinking about things for next year. Now I did see the mayor has